Well, oh, there's the counter up in the corner. All right, we have nobody watching, so it's a great time to mention that today's live shot brought to you by A&A Tactical. Uh, Nylon manufacturers. They made this really cool helmet cover that I'm wearing. But the cool thing is, they sent me this Duber, and I ordered it Monday at 1 o'clock, and they're in West Virginia, and it was in my mailbox at noon on Tuesday, and I had to like pick what colors I wanted, and they had to like make it and ship it, and I had it in 23 hours. So that is that there for their timely service, they get today's sponsorship slot, and now I can put my regular hat back on. All right, who do we got here in the comments? Uncle Guns, hello. Will Crutcher, hello. Javier is here. Colt is here. Is that all we got? Was there someone before Colt? Nope, Colt was the first. Uh-oh.
Okay.
All right. You're back. I don't know if one of us turned you off, but I didn't think it was me.
My screen went black, and then I hit the refresh off the chat. So we'll see.
That's what you get for using an Apple. Are you running an iPhone too?
Yeah. Since I've had a cell phone, pretty much.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
I used to hold you in higher regard.
To use. Yeah, I know you're not a big Apple fan of the computer variety. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems easier to use until you want to put ports together, and then.
Yeah, it's all right. We got everything squared away, I think. Adam, hello, sir. William Lee, John Moyer, good to see people checking in. All right, we got our sponsor out of the way. Just to remind you all, back over my shoulder here, Bob is wearing his Definitive Training Solutions t-shirt, one of not a lot out in the wild, I assume. And he's also wearing the Gray Ghost Griff Pack, which we are giving away. I started filling it with a bunch of patches and stickers and bullshit I picked up from SHOT Show. Everybody that is on the email list for Tremis Dynamics is entered into the giveaway. And if you have signed up for a class, you will get extra slots in the giveaway as long as you're signed up before March 31st-ish, the end of this quarter. That is when it's being given away. And I think I'm going to start doing that with other shit I've done reviews on, because anybody that's been at my house and looked at my office, it is packed full of shit. So maybe it's time to start giving some of it away. All right, now we got those two things off my list, and the big one, the huge thing. It ain't that huge, but it is directly relevant to our co-host. Zach and I are both teaching in Del Rio in the fall, like a week apart. And Zach is going to be there the weekend before me doing a pistol class and a shotgun class. And then I'll be there the weekend after doing dynamic pistol all 3 days to include day 3 pistol. And I sent Zach I think I sent Zach, and I may not have, in which case I might just do it while I'm on the phone here and I'll text him. But he will have a coupon code for anybody that signs up for his pistol class in Del Rio. They can get the full cost of his class as a discount to my class the following week. So that is the big news. I'm not just going to give you guys the code like on the live chat, or you'll just use it. But the code is live. Zach, did I send that to you today?
Did.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think you did.
All right. It's okay. I'm sending it right now.
There it is.
Did you guys hear that noise? That was Zach getting the coupon code.
Keeping over here.
Crystal, hello. Tom, hello, sir. Mark Box, hello, sir. You know, strangely enough, I spoke to Mark for the first time yesterday, like not via email or any sort of electronic communications, and he sounds a lot more Southern than I pictured in my head. I don't know why. All right. So, Zach, what do you got going on? Your schedule looks a little busier than next year.
Yeah, we scheduled. Like you said, we'll be in Del Rio, Texas, October 7th. October 7th, we're doing day class. We are on the 8th, which is a Sunday day class. We're gonna head to Mark, and we'll quite a bit more classes up there, but we're doing a class, a load, and then a scenario class. So vehicle stuff up in Paducah. That all around October 15th. So the weekend after, that's essentially just a weekend of vehicle class. It's the evening of class. So if you're staying for the vehicle class, go ahead and show up. The vehicle scenario, just that. It's all either scenario, so it has a 0, all the force on force ammo, and so it's just a time. Learn. It's not really a class where I'm going to do a whole lot of time. And that's Paducah, Texas. And before that, I got May 6th. We're doing West Virginia, which is outside of Morgantown. That evening we're doing the low light class again. That is up to schedule wise so far.
Well, Zach, most of us did not hear most of what you said because apparently your audio is cutting in and out.
Okay.
But it's only you. So that doesn't help me to figure out what the problem is.
Okay. Can you come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to like reboot or something, is that what you're thinking?
You mean reboot the computer? Or just
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why, because it's only you. So I don't know. Like I can turn you off and turn you on from here.
Yeah, let me leave.
Okay. I can hold the fort down while you're gone. All right. It looks like for a few moments at least you're just stuck with me. I was hoping use sign language and I will interpret. I don't know anything about sign language. Like I know, the universal fuck you, but that's about it. That's the problem is he's got a Mac. If he had this Windows PC like I'm running. Matt White, hello, sir. All right. As soon as Zach pops back in, we'll see what we can get him going on there. I guess in the meantime, I'll find something to chit chat about. For those of you who are our patrons over on Patreon, there is a new video over there for you guys today. A little how to build stuff. The target stands we use in fish for not lethal shit. Oh, Klaus is upset. I can hear him barking. You probably can too. All right, let's see. Max are fine. It's probably Zach's fault. Oh, it could be. He's not the most technical guru in the world, but he might be going over to his desktop computer. Is he? Oh, no, he's back. All right, we're going to try this again. I'm going to make him live. All right, talk to us, my friend.
All right. Is it working now? What do you think? All right. So, I'm not sure how much of that we have.
It's still cutting out.
Damn it. Okay. I'm going to try one more thing.
All right. I thought about just talking and only moving my mouth so everyone thought my sound went out too. I probably have a button here that I could hit and it would make me go quiet, but oh, I bet you it's that one. Well, I'm not sure what's going on Zach's Mac, but he is intently looking at it, whatever it is. At least we can be entertaining. All right, blood sacrifice it is. Somebody find me a politician. I guess that the internet gods probably wouldn't even take one of those either. But yeah, so there's the video on the Target stands. We'll try this. Oh, all right. At least we're not looking at his frozen face. He's gone. We'll see when he comes back. It's a shame there isn't a button for like closed caption. Or is there? No. What is that? Hello there, dude. I don't know what that doesn't do anything. What's a ticker? That doesn't do anything. Yep, there's no button here for closed caption that I can see. Uh-oh. He might be back. He has moved.
Hey, all right. How's this?
Nope. I will say this, the sound that is coming through is worse sounding than before.
I don't know what the fucking. I don't know what.
All right, John Bird says you should drop your screen resolution to the lowest so your net connection voice upload is not competing with his many verify packets. None of that makes any sense to me. He could have just put all those words together. And I
understood 4 of those words. Yeah.
I think I know what most of the words by themselves mean, but together in that order.
And I know what the word is than that. I don't. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear every fourth word. It sounds like.
Okay. Can I type in the?
You could probably type. I can. We'll be able to read it. Jeffrey, hello, sir.
Did you see the chat?
No.
It says private chat.
Oh, there's a private chat. Yes. Oh, all right. He is going to try things, and then but I don't know if that private chat was recent. If it is, go do your thing. If not, whatever. We'll make this the comedy hour. All right. He's going to try something else. And I'll keep entertaining everybody. Yes, he could just try his phone. But now he's probably can't hear us. So, call me on speakerphone. I guess that could probably work. Oh, man. I wasn't going to even get on his OnlyFans until later tonight. I like the series in his OnlyFans where it's just the mustache. Scott Wexler, what's coming up soon with training? All right. Well, next month in it's this fucking month. Like we're in March, aren't we? I guess so. So this month, I don't know what Zach's doing because I don't have a schedule in front of me, but every 6 minutes his link pops up in the chat. So you could all click that if you want. I am going to Texas. Going to hang out with two of the fellas in the chat today. We are doing in Paducah a 3-day carbine course. And then the following week, I am going to Del Rio to do a pistol and carbine daylight and low light day. It'll be a long day, but and I am bringing something for at least 8 or 9 people to Texas. I just got the first proof today for the official Tremis Dynamics Challenge coin. So I think I can even put a picture of it up. It looks like this. This is the front. Got a bottle opener, a logo, a slogan. I can't show you the proof of the back because I had to make changes to it. Is the Hunter's Lodge Hotel in Paducah? Well, Mark, is the Hunter's Lodge Hotel in Paducah a good place to stay? Caleb says it's very good. Of course, looking at his little thumbnail, there's looks like he's wearing a Marine uniform, which means he's used to sleeping in like a ditch. So his very good and the rest of our very good might not be, on the same level. But yeah, so the challenge coins, the master class that we're doing in Del Rio, there is going to be a pass fail for the students in it. So each one of them could go away with a challenge coin. Plus, I am also going to give one to all of the people important to the Tremis Dynamics family, which would be any of the folks that I have paid to help instruct. So some adjunct instructors and all of the hosts. So Mark, you get one too. All right. Catching up on the comments here. I don't see Zach back yet. Comments on the new folding carbine from Smith & Wesson. When I first saw it, I went, oh man, that'd have been nice in 10 millimeter. And they did it at 9. Which, I mean, I guess it's fine. It's probably nicer than the Keltec foldy pistol carbine thing. Oh, did you guys hear that beep? That's the beep that Zach is ready to get back in. Adam, the coin is for that class. Anytime I run the Gary Marr Master class, that coin is gettable. But it's not the only way to get it. It's just those guys are going to get it for being cool. So I'm going to try flipping Zach back on here. I'm going to whisper in his ear and maybe nibble on his earlobe. I hear that turns him on. Oh, look, he's turned on. Let's see if we can hear him.
Can you hear me?
Holy shit. You can say as much as you want now.
Well, I don't see my camera. Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, I can't help what you can see, but we can hear you. So leave the fucking camera off.
It shows the camera's on, like the little lights on next to my camera. Whatever.
We can see you.
Okay, I can't see any of the chat. So
It's all right. If there's anything in the chat you need to hear, I will read it right out loud.
Oh, there I am. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
perfect.
All right. I think what you asked is, what am I up to, and what is my schedule up to?
Yes.
So we will be. We got what 6 or 7 classes so far this year. The first one that we got coming up is May 6th in Fairmont, West Virginia, which is outside of Morgantown. We are doing, that's a Saturday. We are doing a pistol class that day. And then that night, we'll break for dinner for a few hours, come back at night, and we will do the definitive low light class, which is about 4 hours. So if you're anywhere near Morgantown, West Virginia, or you want to be near Morgantown, West Virginia, on May 6th, you can sign up for those 2 classes.
Now, before we go any further, I would like to point out that you and Jerry Nuss both do a poor job of checking my personal calendar when you're scheduling classes, because I am teaching a class in Pennsylvania that weekend, or I would be right outside Morgantown, West Virginia. But I mean, if you want to be inconsiderate like that and not check, my personal calendar, carry on.
Okay. Well, yeah, next time I will consult the Trimus Dynamics calendar before. But yeah, and then so that's what we're doing in West Virginia. The class I had scheduled in Ohio is currently on hold. That date that I had doesn't work anymore. So hopefully I can reschedule that. That's going to be a shotgun class, probably in June. If we skip ahead to Del Rio, which I know we talked about, Del Rio 7th, or I'm sorry, Del Rio on October 7th is definitive pistol. And then the next day on the 8th is definitive shotgun. I have wrote down your code. So anyone that signs up for those classes gets some money off of your class when you're there the following weekend. So,
and anybody that uses that code, I am going to text you and make sure that they didn't just, someone that was at your class didn't just share it with their brother-in-law.
oh, right. Yeah.
Because you know how that goes. So.
Yeah. And if someone's at my class and they share it with someone who actually wasn't at my class, like those people may not have a long career with my company if they're sharing out codes. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we're doing: Del Rio, pistol class, a shotgun class. Then the next weekend we'll be in Paducah, Texas, and it's all vehicle stuff, with the exception of a low light class. The first 2 days, the 14th and 15th, is definitive vehicle, and then the night of the 14th of October 14th is the low light class, and then on the 16th, which is a Monday, is our vehicle scenario class. So the vehicle scenario class is all force on force. There's no live fire rounds. When you pay for the course, it comes with all the force on force ammunition we're going to use, and it is skill and scenario based. So,
is the vehicle going to be pistola only, or pistol and long gun, or?
Yeah, so the vehicle class is only pistol.
Okay.
For the force on force and for the 2-day actual vehicle class. There will be some like shooting of the vehicle with different long guns just to kind of show what happens. But as far as the students using, it's just going to be a pistol vehicle class with pistols only. So the vehicle scenario class, like I said, it's scenario and skill based. So some of the drills will be, like, hey, this person's going to walk by and I want you to do this, or I want you to do that. And then some of it is, this is like the scenario and we're going to go. There's combatives in that one. So that one, I've taught that one once before, and I really kind of surprised myself with how much I enjoy that class. There's not a lot of instruction, but hopefully most people are taking the 2 days before. It's just a class to kind of test what you know, and to evaluate yourself, which I feel like is the goal of force on force training, is to test and evaluate. And so that's what we're doing in Texas. And as of right now, those are the last classes I have scheduled for the year. So we got Morgantown, West Virginia, or the area of Morgantown, in May, and then probably hopefully in June I can get it rescheduled to the Columbus, Ohio area. Get that shotgun class rescheduled, and then after that we'll be in Texas for 2 weeks in Del Rio and Paducah. Del Rio's pistol shotgun. Paducah is a bunch of vehicle stuff with a low light class thrown in there. And the other thing that I mentioned on my alumni page, and since there's probably a few alumni of mine in here, if you have ever taken a class with Definitive Training Solutions in the past, like prior to 2023, you can take that class for free in the year 2023, as much as you want. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so this is a way that I can kind of say thanks to the people that helped me out the past couple of years, and I can get away to hang out with some of the people who I'm friends with who've taken classes from me. But if you've taken, let's say, Definitive Pistol at some point in the past 2.5 years, you can take it in Del Rio for free. You can take it in West Virginia for free. You can take it in both, and that's just my way of saying thanks and being able to see some of your faces again. And if you want to bring a friend, that'd be even better. But if you're an alumni, you can take the classes or class you've already taken for free in the year 2023. So anyone out there that's listening that's taking one of my classes, you can take it again for free in the year 2023.
That's awesome. That is a way better deal than I offer. I do have a coupon code for basically it's $50 off a day if you're taking a repeat class.
Okay, yeah.
But I know a couple people have used it. I don't think I advertise it enough for everyone to even know there is a coupon code. The good news is, since I am immaculate record keeper, not really, but the computer does a good job for me. If somebody else gets a hold of the code and they haven't taken the class before, it's easy for me to do a quick search inside all the spreadsheets and see that when they have taken it or not. So I don't have a way of making it like automatically apply it to certain people or automatically deny them if they didn't have it, but just puts a little more work on me. But again, trying to do something nice for the folks who have helped out before, just not as nice as you. But I've heard that a lot, that I'm not as nice as you in a lot of instances. Oh, Mark has a question, Zach, if you're still doing dog tags. Oh, why is he on mute?
But
we see your mouth moving, Zach. And now your face froze. He was good for a moment. And he's gone. All right. So, I don't know if Zach's still doing dog tags or not. I assume that he is. Oh, he's back. Maybe he can answer.
You got me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Mark asked about doing tags. Yes, we are still doing the tags. We are still doing the gold tags for certain classes that have, I guess, a drill that we could compete with one another. So yeah, we're still doing the tags. If you currently have a tag, you can take as long as it's a different class than you've already taken, you can take that class and you can attempt to get the higher tag. So we're still doing that. And yeah, I've actually got a couple, as of I think last year, a little over a year ago, I had my first couple black tags in the low light class.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool to see. I've already got some people that have taken enough classes, and a couple of those people have had didn't get a tag every class. I won't say how you get a tag, but they didn't get one every class, so they've taken even more than than 5. So,
Mark, you also have the opportunity on day 3 carbine to get a Premise Dynamics dog tag as well. So you can
yes.
come out with all kinds of cool shit this year.
Yeah, and I will say shamelessly, I stole that molecule from you, except for I do it a little differently. But the dog tag idea that I have came from the idea of using a dog tag from Premise Dynamics. So,
which stemmed from being too cheap to buy challenge coins.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you all saw the challenge coin that I have for a small number, but I can tell you that it cost approximately 20 times more to get a challenge coin than it does a dog tag. So
Yeah.
I wasn't buying 10 dog tags for a day 3 pistol or day 3 carbine and letting you guys shoot them.
Yeah, and if you gotten a tag from me or from Definitive Training Solutions, you might notice that I paint them myself because that's way cheaper than trying to order them in the corresponding colors. So it's a very cost effective way to have a little keepsake from the class if you earn one. But yeah, we're still doing tags, and everything else with the tags is the same. We've changed some of the classes. Like I said, the pistol class is now a 1-day class, but everything else is pretty much the same as far as the tags and certificates and all that stuff. And the handouts are pretty much the same still. So,
well, I gotta say, you definitely got me beat on the certificates and the handouts. I have a handout for the pistol class, and I'm 5 years behind on making the carbine handout. But I mean, it's a nice handout for the pistol class, but there are no other handouts.
Yeah, no, it's I can attest to how much work it takes for those sometimes. And you actually order them like from Staples or something, don't you? Like you don't make them yourself.
No,
Yeah,
well,
so
I get them printed at Staples, and then I have the little like black comb binding.
Oh, the
I
binder
bought a
machine.
machine to punch the holes and put that in myself
Yeah,
because Staples wanted like the first batch of handouts, I'd have paid more than it cost me to buy my own machine.
Oh yeah. So I had bought like a really nice inkjet printer. I don't know if it's inkjet. I don't know what kind of printer it is, but it's one of the big ones that makes a lot of noise when it turns on. And I bought one of those, and I just print all mine out now. So that way I'm able to change stuff or take stuff out or whatever. So yeah, the handouts are always having small changes, but there still is a handout with every class, with the exception of the vehicle scenario class. There's not really a handout because there's not really anything taught there. But other than that, all the handouts still exist, and the dog tag still exists. So, talked about the class schedule, talked about my alumni deal going on this year. I'm still looking for other ranges. If anyone knows someone or they own the range personally, there's a range in Evansville, Indiana that I'm looking at trying to source out. And I think it will happen eventually. I won't say who it is, but it's a pretty well-known YouTuber, or at least it was back 2 years ago. I think he has like 80,000 followers on his page anyway.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you who it is later, Gary, but he seems like a cool dude. And so that one will hopefully happen sometime this year, since I'm from around the Evansville, Indiana area. And so other than that, if there's a range you guys want to host me at, just get in contact with me and we'll see if we can make it happen.
I'm going to get asked about when you're coming back to Pennsylvania. So before we'll just head this right off at the pass. The range that I'm using now, I'm booking pretty far out to make sure I can get dates that I want. And now the guy that owns it is awesome, and I get very first dibs on all weekends before he opens it up to anybody. He had on his property, he does have 2 motocross events a year, and he shuts the range down for those because the road that you would drive into the range on is part of the motocross enduro thing. So he can't have the conflicting traffic. So other than those 2 events, I get dibs. However, I didn't know Zach was getting back into a full schedule until after I had already booked dates for this year. So I'm going to get him back, but it's a little murkier because I didn't find out early.
Yeah.
But Zach will be here for the muster.
Yeah.
for
So I'll
the
be there teaching a block of instruction for the muster. Super excited about it. I don't want to give too much away, but it has to do with shotguns, and it has to do with doing shit with shotguns that you probably didn't think you could do or you've never done. Like, so I'm super excited to get some more experience, like as an instructor teaching that block, because I really enjoy it, and then I'm just excited to be able to just kind of show people like what it is.
I think it's pretty awesome. I was there the first time that it was done, and it was fucking shocking. Like my eyes were open.
Yeah. I'd done it once before, like at a range up around here, just by myself, and just kind of with like one steel target and not like three or four. But yeah, it's something I'm really excited about. Something I will add in my second day of my shotgun class when that it starts to exist more frequently. Yeah, like I found that when I teach shotgun classes or teach my shotgun class or talk about shotguns, it's usually me just like going over all the shit that is not true about shotguns, like, oh, like you can do this, or actually that's not how it happens, or stuff like that. And some of that I take back from my personal experience, like when I first became a cop and we didn't have ARs and we had shotguns, and I was told all this horrible shit. And I just was like, at the time I just believed it. And then as I got more into shotguns and took more classes, I realized that like it's not really how it is, or at least most of it's not. So yeah, I'm super. I would say my shotgun class is probably the class that I enjoy the most teaching. I enjoy all of them, but like when I get a good group of shotgun people, like I can teach that shit for 3 days, and like it's just awesome. So
Now, what's funny is I can't stand teaching shotgun classes, and I'm not a fan. You're a fan. You like teaching the classes, and at the end of the day, our views on shotguns aren't that different.
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think they're. Yeah, like I'll be the first to tell you, like you don't have to have a shotgun if you want to have a shotgun. Like that's okay as long as you're confident with it. And I'll also be the first to tell you that the shotgun is not a beginner weapon at all. Like it's much like the revolver is not a beginner handgun at all. But
Not in the
it has
least
its
bit.
place, and the shotgun has its place. And like I would say, when the shotgun works, like when it's the most effective, it is the most effective. Like, but I would also agree that there are times where I would pick up a rifle instead. So
Yeah, it's funny when we talk about like using the shotgun, like the manipulations of it, and what you would get in a class. Because we did the hot shotgun, cold weather hot shotgun
cold weather
class,
hot shotgun, I think is how it's
and like no matter which one of us was talking, the other one was just like nodding their
yeah,
head, going,
yeah,
"Yeah, exactly, exactly." And then at the very end of it, the students could have said, "Yeah, they both agree on everything about using the shotgun," and then the opinion gained at the end is Zach saying this thing's pretty cool, and me saying this thing is not cool. So it was actually very entertaining for me to realize how much we agree on the shotgun, and then at the end of it, whether or not we want one, polar
yeah.
opposite.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I would agree. Like, I don't think we really had any disagreements about how to do things, because there's just, a couple different ways to do things. I think the big things that we would disagree about, like, should you keep it loaded or not? Like, we're on the same page about that. But, yeah.
Oh no, he froze again.
It
Again. I don't know if they got good internet there in Indiana.
came. Oh, can you
Oh,
hear me now?
oh, he's what? Kinda, maybe. You froze. You unfroze.
All right. Am I unfroze now?
It seems like you're unfroze.
Because I feel like I'm unfrozen. Okay.
I
But
was going
yeah.
to show everyone this picture of this shotgun to hold them over.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah. That's a sexy shotgun right there. Yeah.
it is. I feel like I need to buy one.
Yeah, I wish that shotgun would go on sale regardless of the color pattern. I'm just waiting to buy one. So
Yeah, if there was a deal, I would take because it comes in black, gray, some mossy oak or something, and that tiger stripe. I would be interested in having one of those in any of those colors because I got spray paint. But if I'm going to pick the tiger stripe. Mark, it is the A300 from Beretta, which is like the 1300 budget model or bargain model. I don't. It's like a 1300, but they changed some shit. Uh-oh, Zach went black and he's gone. Motherfucker. Yeah, they just came out with it in the fall. I'll bring the picture back up. And it takes all the 1301 stuff, and it's a couple $100 less, but it already comes with a forend with M-Lock on it, and like the extendo tube and the big charging handle, and like things that people would add to a 1301. They come with it. So not only does it cost less, you'll pay less trying to get. You have to buy less Aridus Industries stuff. So I got a message. Nope, it's not Zach. Maybe it was Zach saying, I can't make this fucking thing work. Luckily, I haven't seen one of the damn things in stock yet, so I don't have to feel too bad about not having one. All right. Well, Zach's still trying to get back on. Well, what do I got on my list of stuff? All right. I'd like to hear Zach's take on that question. So I'm not going to ask it. But we had two questions listed over on the book face, where I normally, when I put the event up, I give you a spot if you have questions. I don't know if Zach wants to answer this one or not when he comes back. But one of the questions was, when is the black van coming for us all? And I'm not sure who's in the said black van or who all of us are. But so in order to understand the question better, I typed it into the Google machine, and the black part threw me off. But in Portland, the vans that came and got people were mostly gray and a few white ones. Even though one guy who claimed to be picked up in a black van, when they showed the video of it, it was a gray van. So I'm not worried about the black vans. There's your answer. There'll be no black vans. They will be gray. Still no Zach checking back in yet that I can see. Oh, there he is. All right. I can see him in my little preview window, and he appears to be frozen, and his screen is black. Let's try doing this and this again. No. How about that? Damn. Nope. Zach, you're froze again. And he's gone. So Jeff says he's taken both shotgun classes. And he has, because I've seen him at both. And it's okay, Jeff. I came to the same conclusion after Zach's shotgun class as I had before Zach's shotgun class. And same when I took fighting shotgun and advanced fighting shotgun, and same conclusions. Although I will say this, it is everybody's duty to be able to use a shotgun and run it. Like if you are a person who carries a gun, not just for a living, but like you carry a gun on occasion, you should know how to run a shotgun. So it does pay to go take a class in it, even if you come away going, man, I'm picking a rifle before I pick a shotgun, which is a completely valid thing to end up with. But you could end up saying, I want a shotgun all the time, but you owe it to yourself to take a class before you determine your opinion on it. Oh, he's back. He's not frozen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So I just have to restart this computer every 2.5 minutes, and I think we're good. So anyway, I just caught the tail end of what you were saying about the shotgun. Couldn't agree more. You should definitely take a class. Like I said, it is not a beginner. It is not a beginner weapon, but yet it is probably bought almost always for someone who has little to no training, which is just how it is. The other reason that I would also recommend a shotgun class is, as people might know you as the person that owns guns or trains, if someone comes to you and wants to learn how to shoot, chances are they have a shotgun probably. So just knowing how to help out your neighbor or your cousin or whoever that, bunch of break-ins happened in the neighborhood and he went out and bought a shotgun, which is cool. But like knowing just how to like run the thing and show him or her like what the important aspects are about how to pattern it and like how to keep it loaded, which are the two biggest parts of the shotgun, in my opinion, is also a reason that I would recommend people to take shotgun training. And I think once you get in the class, you'll find that it's just fun. Like it's just hard to not have fun in a shotgun class. And so, yeah.
Funny story. You mentioned that, if people know you as the gun guy, that, they'll come to you for advice and whatnot, and they'll probably have a shotgun. A couple of the guys that are in the chat here, we had a study group one weekend, and we all carpooled from my house, and I pull in after a study group, and there's like 4 of us with rifles in the car, and like a trunk full of, or a bed of my pickup truck full of fucking gear and plate carriers and whatnot. And one of the dudes said, "Hey man, a guy just walked up on your porch with a shotgun." What? Yeah, I just saw him walk up on your porch. Now my wife's at home, so we all get out of the car with rifles on, and the dude's walking back off of my porch with a shotgun in his hand. And it was one of my neighbors who was like, I needed to buy a gun. The world is dangerous, and this is all they had, and I don't know how to put bullets in it. And so he walked it down to the house to ask for some advice.
Yeah, no, you'll have those kind of stories, or just, the big, about patterning. Like I've given more advice about patterning than I've actually patterned shotguns. So like someone will say like, I bought this shotgun and like, is this the right kind of ammo? And if the answer is not federal flight controlled and the answer is no, it's not the right ammo. So just being able to give that kind of advice, like knowing, what kind of just ammo to recommend without just recommending the brand that you happen to have in your shotgun, is another reason that these shotgun classes, not just mine, there's plenty of other good ones out there, are beneficial. And yeah, it's just next to like shooting a fully auto machine gun, like I think it's one of the funnest things is just to get with a group of 15 or 20 people and just do a bunch of drills over and over until you can't feel your shoulder.
Well, the fun part about it is that at the end of all those drills, you go, I just spent about $7.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cause it's mostly birdshot. And the good thing about that is like, let's say it's the weekend before or let's say it's 3 days before the class and you're like, oh, it's a shotgun class and I got one of those shotguns and I don't have any birdshot because I just don't have any. Like you can go to Walmart like the morning of the class usually and buy more than enough birdshot to get through the class, So there are benefits about the old shotgun class, just as far as practicality of just training.
Yeah.
So
federal doesn't make rubber, buck, and flight control.
So that's not the answer. Well, I guess they also don't make dragon's breath either. So I guess they're probably lacking on those two product lines.
Don't they make, I know federal doesn't, but aren't there like ones with like buckshot connected with little pieces of chain?
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one. I've seen the one where it's like one big like ball and then a bunch of little like buckshot. I don't know, I don't know what it looks like. I've never shot it, but you'll see a lot of stupid stuff like that. And that's the other thing about the class, like I said, just to dispel a lot of myths, like those little mini shells, like all that garbage that's out there.
That sound like squib loads.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, oh, this is a little short, like, yeah. So it's got like a third as much powder, which means it's doing all kinds of things, but yeah, so there's a lot of that kind of stuff that I hope that in my class, we quickly just kind of talk about what works, what shotguns work. And, much like revolvers, there's the huge myth with, oh, this pump shotgun will run forever. And that is absolutely not the case. I think I have 4 shotguns now. And the reason I have 4 shotguns is because I teach shotgun classes and I need extra shotguns. And on the gear list is an extra shotgun that I hope that people bring if they have one, because much like revolvers, like these things do break. And usually when they break, like they're done. Like they are very very highly unfixable, much like when a revolver stops running, like you might as well just take it to a Smith. So
send it back to Smith. Yep.
Yeah. So, like Javier says in the chat, the 1301, the Beretta 1301, in my opinion, is the best shotgun. Pumps are okay too, but if you have the money for a 1301, I don't care if it's your first shotgun or whatever, that's the shotgun you should buy. Or whatever the new one is, the something 300, the APC 300, or whatever it was that you posted a picture of.
It's the A300 something. There's a bunch of A300 models. They brought some duck models out and shit.
Yeah.
But there's the cool one that comes with all the stuff that you would normally buy for your 1301.
Yeah, it's the tactical one. Essentially what Beretta did was take all the Aridus Industries accessories that they made and just put them on the shotgun, like make their own version of that. So it's pretty much, it looks like from the box, it's requires no modification. Whereas the old 1301, if you've seen my 1301, I've had to do some stuff to it. So that's the shotgun that I would recommend. If you don't have that much money, or you don't want a semi-automatic shotgun for some reason, then any Mossberg 500 pump series is fine. If you can find an old Remington 870 police shotgun, like I would buy that, like the police magnums. But other than that, I would stay away from the Remington stuff if it's been made in the past 10 years.
I'm not even sure who owns Remington at this very moment. It might be a paintball company, which I know that dude from the paintball industry that bought it, and I wouldn't trust any company that he owns that makes shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I know that he bought a bunch of the shit when Remington went bankrupt, but I don't know if he got the shotguns or not. But that doesn't bode well for the 870 returning to old form, or 700s for that matter.
Yeah, that's Remington's been bought several times, I think, and it's like each time I don't know if it gets progressively worse or if it's just so bad that I can't tell if it's worse. I would just, for the shotguns and probably any Remington product, really, like, just be very wary of that. Unless it's an old police like Magnum shotgun, then I would definitely buy one of those, because if it's a police shotgun, it probably wasn't shot very much, and those were made to much higher quality control standards.
Are you trying to suggest that police officers don't shoot a lot?
No, they're not. Yeah, they don't shoot a lot, and they don't even hit what they're shooting at when they do shoot guns. That's exactly true. Now the outside of it's going to be all beat up because they've thrown it around and probably dropped it 40 or 50 times, and the internet would tell you it would have went off 40 or 50 times. They are those. If you can get those, they're usually pretty squared away guns, and they're kind of becoming like a collector item now. Like I remember back 10 years ago, you get them for like $200 a pop, and they were just like giving them away. And now they seem a lot harder to find. The 1301. Adam says the 1301 better than the Benelli M4. Yes, I don't know if it's necessarily better, but it's cheaper. Like it's just more cost effective, I guess.
I think it's more pleasant to shoot.
Yeah, I like the controls on the 1301 better. I don't have a ton of experience with the M4, with the Benelli M4, but I like the controls and how to operate the Beretta 1301. So I would have to say, take that extra money that it's saving and take you a shotgun class or buy some ammo. As far as I know, the M4s work. I've never seen one not work. But I've only ran into a handful of them in classes, and I don't personally own one.
It's because they're expensive. That's why you don't see a lot of them.
Yeah, I can tell you the people that own the M4s, when I do the drill in the shotgun class where I start slamming shotguns on the ground, the M4 guys do not want to participate. But the 870 guys and especially those Mossberg owners, they're like throwing me shotguns. Like, here, slam this one on the ground.
Swing it like a baseball bat.
Yeah, and they're like, hit it harder. But the M4 guys, I don't want to say they're like the 1911 guys, because the M4s do work, but they are a little, they take their shoes off before they get back in their car after the rain.
That's awesome.
So anyway, well, let's turn into a shotgun chat. But I think that was pretty much all I had.
Well, we had two questions over on the book face, and I answered one while you were gone because I gave a funny answer to it. But The other one, I don't know if it was the same fellow that asked me a couple years ago, but it was a question I answered on the live chat. And so the question was, have my thoughts changed on the likelihood of an average person nowadays facing a criminal violent encounter like a mugging, a stick up, knockout game, whatever, versus an organized violent group of people doing planned violent shit. So obviously, if you rewind some time ago, some number of years ago, the chances of an armed mob like firebombing your neighborhood was pretty fucking slim. And you were more likely to be accosted by one or two, hood rats doing hood rat shit. And during the midst of the Wuhan, I was asked that question, and I said that the chances for a violent mob being your concern had risen exponentially. And do I still feel that way versus 2 years ago? And I don't. My answer to it is that probably it is less of a concern than it was 2 years ago, but it is still a lot more than it was 6 years ago. And since you see a lot of crime, and you went away because you froze, I was going to ask Zach what he thought about that, being that he lives on the outskirts of a large city and does cop stuff. Like, he's back, maybe.
I'm here. I heard something about large cities, Wuhan, shotguns, and I don't know what it is, but I'm already in. So,
I'll give you the short recap. A couple years ago, I had suggested on a live chat that your chances of running into a large organized mob of people committing violence had grown in comparison to your chances of just being mugged or raped by one or two guys. And versus a few years prior to that. And the question was, do I still feel that way? And I'd said that I think that a large violent mob is probably less likely than it was in the peak of the Wuhan, but not like it was 10 years ago, that there's still more chance for that than there was, back in the day when we didn't have large angry mobs firebombing neighborhoods and whatnot. And since you live on the outskirts of an actual city, not BFE like me, and you see a lot more crime than I do, what's your take on the large organized mobs versus the ratio of just normal violent crime?
Yeah, I would say the mob scenario might be less now, but I would say as we saw with COVID stuff, like the ability for the mob rioting to start up again and to be prevalent again, I think can happen like really quickly, right? So it may not be happening as much, but all it takes is one, social justice event or one, grocery store to run out of food. And I feel like what we've seen can happen literally overnight. I mean, I live in a very affluent county north of Indianapolis, and it would take nothing. We had protests here, nothing like Indianapolis, but like it could literally turn, and especially if you live in a city where there's some kind of police action shooting where people don't agree with or whatever, you might experience that when it appears that that's not that much of a problem anymore. So I would agree that it's definitely happening with less frequency throughout the U.S., but it doesn't take much for one of those situations to kick off.
I would say, like, the biggest window I have is looking at the people that are students and what are they concerned about. Yeah. And I see a lot more students who are taking classes on like small unit tactics kind of things. Like, how do I work better if I got a long gun and like all the gear and maybe nods and I'm going to bring 5 guys versus the person who's like, I got my first pistol and I need to know how to use it in case someone wants to hurt me. Now, I'm not saying there's more of the guys doing the small unit tactics, but the ratio used to be, like 98-2 for people who wanted to learn how to use their first gun. And that number is not 98-2 anymore, or maybe like 75-25. Like, there are students who are more preparing to, like, how do I integrate my comms with my team? Yeah. Where 10 years ago, I'd have been like, what team?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You couldn't have given away that class 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've I see the same things, even just with like cop friends or just friends in general. There is a lot more talk since COVID, I think, about like not just how do I carry this gun to keep myself safe, like in the Walmart parking lot. It's like, how do I keep this gun to keep myself safe from like someone, like a mob of people overrunning my city. So I would agree. Like, I've seen that more, maybe not quite as much as you, but I've definitely had people ask questions about classes with those kind of things in mind. So I want to answer Adam's question in the chat real quick in case
Oh
I
yeah.
get booted off. Opinion on RMRs on shotgun? The answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. It can be an RMR. It can be a red dot. It can be. I run hollow suns on mine because I happened to find a big sale on them like 4 years ago, where I bought like half a dozen of them. The red dot on a shotgun is, I don't want to say critical, but like it takes it to another level. Just like a red dot on a rifle, it makes it easier to shoot, in my opinion. The red dot on a shotgun increases your, I don't want to say your range with the slug, but it helps you get better hits with the slug. So yes, absolutely.
I like the rifle style red dots more so than the pistol style red dot.
Yeah.
And not because I like the closed tube versus the open or any of that. It's just they seem to be much more robust.
Yeah. And if there's one thing that's going to break your sight, it's going to be a shotgun. So,
Yeah.
And that's why I've ran the Hollow Sun one on my 1301, my Beretta 1301, and it's for years, and it's been great. So I mean, I assume that the RMRs are fine, but yeah, if you want to see if it will last, like put it on a shotgun and start running slugs through it. But yeah, I think that increases your ability with the shotgun, just like going from a pump to a semi-automatic shotgun. It increases your ability to use it more effectively. And I know some of us think that gear's at the bottom of the list, but you know, when you're sitting out 150 yards away with a slug, gear is now very important to you, and it's important to have good gear. And a red dot on a shotgun is what I consider good gear.
It is very. The interwebs will tell you that gear is so low on the list that none of it matters, but
Yeah.
that's patently untrue. And yes, there was other, like, the order is the correct order,
Yeah.
but it's not like mindset is 95% and the other things are, fill out the rest.
Yeah.
There are times when the gear is a big chunk, and if
Yeah.
you got to shoot a motherfucker really far away or in pitch black,
Yeah.
the only thing that will do that is gear.
Yeah. If you don't have a light on your gun and it's pitch black or really dark, like you're going to put gear pretty high on your. I mean, you can have a really good mindset, and I'm sure a lot of people do, but like a mindset's not going to like produce you a light, like it's not
Yep.
going to make your eyes see in the dark. So that's a moving scale, in my opinion. And speaking of that, I forgot to mention the online Newhall lessons from Newhall class.
Yes.
We talk a lot about that, about skill and the lack of skill that was displayed, unfortunately, on the behalf of the police. And that's an example of, like, in that moment, like, those guys had a really good mindset, but they couldn't hit what they were shooting at, right? Like, they just could not do it. In fact, the only person in that instance to get a hit, not to spoil the presentation, was a guy who showed up and didn't even have a fucking gun. Like, he just picked a gun up and got a hit. And that
15 minutes earlier, he had the worst mindset.
Yeah.
But man, he flipped that on like a switch.
Yeah, like he just went over to where there's a bunch of dead cops and picked up a gun from a dead cop and started shooting bad guys. That is on. I think it's March 19th. There's a Facebook group out, or Facebook event out there. That's where we posted the link. And I think it's March 18th or 19th. It's a Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's free. It's 100% free. We'll go over that one again, and then the next one we're doing is Columbine, the Columbine shooting, and much like the shotgun myths, we're going to bust a lot of Columbine myths that you guys may or may not have heard about. We're going to start with Newhall, March 19th. Thanks, Javier. Make sure you join the event page. That's where I'm posting the link once I get it set up. But
hopefully your audio works better that night.
Yeah, I will have a new internet service provider by then. I'm pretty sure. I've been on the fence, and I think now I am switching to someone that's a little more reliable. But that I'm super excited about that class. I've taught it once before in an online format.
I was there. It was awesome.
Yeah, and we talk about like the the mindset, tactics, skill, gear. Like it's a perfect example of like you can have the best mindset in the world that you really want to stop somebody from hurting other people, but if you can't hit them with bullets when they're shooting bullets at you, your mindset is not the most important thing. Like at that exact moment. And we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about the changes. In my opinion, it's the most influential police gunfight probably in the history of police work. And I would say Columbine is probably a close second as far as how it changed police work, which, again, even though it changed police work, the lessons are 100% applicable to anyone that carries a gun or anyone that just wants to keep themselves or others safe. So be doing that. Hopefully I'll be able to start pushing out some more regular content because it's like therapeutic for me to do these after action reports. So Columbine will be next, hopefully sometime in the summer.
Hopefully maybe you'll look at my schedule, or you can shoot me a text and be like, hey bro, I'm going to do this on this date. And I would, just to give me a heads up, because I haven't caught that one and I'd like to see it. Now, luckily this one coming up this month, I'll be in Texas there with Mark and Caleb. Maybe we'll have a watch party. If we can facilitate that somehow while we're there.
Yeah, we will try to do that, or hopefully you guys are able to do that. I try to put it at a time where it's easily accessible for everybody. And Javier in the chat says Uvalde will be the example. If you know anything about Uvalde, once you hear the Columbine story, your blood will boil the same way it did when you first heard about Uvalde.
As the details of Uvalde came out, I was appalled. Like, are we just watching Columbine over again, like just in HD?
Yeah.
We know someone who I'm not going to mention online, but I'll tell you on the side here. I'll shoot you a text when we're done. But we know someone that's good friends with the number 3 man who went into the classroom in Uvalde.
Yeah.
I don't know if that person had told you that they were friends with that guy, but
no, I don't think
oh yeah, I'll tell you. I'll shoot you a message when we're done.
Okay.
I don't want to put it out for everyone to start bugging this cat, but
yeah. Well, and like I said, that's the whole thing about Columbine is that delayed response. Which when I was watching the Uvalde stuff come out, it didn't surprise me. Like I was mad, of course. It didn't surprise me because the same thing happened in Parkland, right? The same thing happened in Bailey, Colorado, at the high school there. The same thing happened in Columbine, and even before that, the same thing happened in San Diego at a McDonald's in the 70s. It's as much as I hate to say it, it's not uncommon. It's just now it's more in the light, so everyone wants to focus on these later school shootings.
You froze up again, man. Right at the. Oh, hey, we heard it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Nope.
Okay, I don't know if you can see me now or hear me now. No. Okay.
It's popping in.
That might be that might be the universe saying that there's been too much knowledge.
It might be, and I'm like 15 minutes later than I normally am on one of these things. So, as usual, it was awesome having you on here, and we should do this more frequently so we can chat about shit, especially if we get a bunch of questions ahead of time that we can debate. That would be cool. So maybe we'll set one up a little further out and give people some time to come up with some shit they'd like to talk about.
Yeah, give me some time to get a different internet provider.
Well, if you call them, they could probably be there in like middle of next week.
Yeah, I'm going to call tomorrow to switch companies. So anyway, but yeah, it was good seeing y'all. Sorry for all the tech problems. We'll try to do this again. The New Hall class, make sure you guys go and get on that page. because that's coming up soon, and then look at the class schedule, and hopefully we'll see you in class.
Awesome. And everybody out there, take it easy, and we'll pop smoke and call for a hot extract or whatever it is they say in like cool guy parlance, I guess. And I'll see y'all next week.